Welcome back, everybody, to the Cirque Show 24/7, and this is Season 2, Episode 1 of Gotham, entitled Damned If You Do. So, let's get right into it. TV. This episode is giving me a little bit more hope that that we might get that good season for season 2. But at the same time, I'm still worried about a lot of things in this show. Most of the things that really frustrated me the most in season 1 of Gotham was the fact that it just had too much going on. Especially when it came to it brought in too many villains in season 1, like too many notable and very big villains that shouldn't be in Gotham season 1 at all. It just brought these and introduced these characters, and it didn't really have too much to do for them, and it was just a very big cluster F of a show, and it suffered from that, and it suffered from the fact that it has an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be sometimes. Sometimes I look at this show and I think it's a comedy. Sometimes I think it's a horror show. Sometimes I think it's just a superhero comic book movie, but it just doesn't know what it wants to be. And that's what I got in this episode. Overall, I like this episode a lot of episode 1 of season 2. But it still had those moments where I was like, do you really want to go that direction? Do you really want to take this character in this direction? And do you have to introduce this kind of villain? So it had those kind of moments for me. But overall, I really did enjoy this episode, and it gave me hope for the remainder of the season. Now we're getting into when we last left off, Bruce and Alfred, they just discovered Bruce's father's secret hideout or secret cave that we all know one day will basically become the Batcave. But now Bruce and Alfred are really trying to figure out how to get into this cave because it's blocked off. Alfred's trying to tell Bruce, I don't know if you're really ready for this because you're still a kid, and some secrets are some things you shouldn't know about until you're a lot older, a lot mature. But what I'm liking about, one thing I really liked about this episode is Bruce and Alfred's storyline, because I think that the kid who plays Bruce Wayne is very good. He's very, he can hit the emotional beats, and he's just very believable. I can believe that this kid one day will actually become the Batman. Just the way he holds himself and the way he talks and the way he speaks and stuff. It's really, really good, and it's just great acting. And it's probably one of the best acting characters in this show, and that's saying a lot because you do have a lot of great actors in the show, but I think the kid shines out more than most people in the show. So I really, really enjoyed his storyline with Alfred and him trying to figure out how to get into the cave. And once he does find out, and once he does get into it, he does see a note that his dad left and stuff. And like I said, sometimes the show doesn't really know what it wants to be, and sometimes it needs to figure out the identity and the timeline and stuff, because the cave, once he opens the cave, obviously it's a cave, so it's going to have cobwebs and stuff, but this cave looked like it's been abandoned for hundreds of years. Just there's dust everywhere and stuff. His dad has only died probably a year maybe, or and some change, and it doesn't look like that cave has been abandoned for a year. It looked like it's been abandoned for years, maybe decades and stuff. So it just little quibbles like that really kind of stood out to me. It's really, really dirty for it only being a year since his father has been in it, and it's just too much going on. But I did like the note that his dad sent, and you can tell his dad was doing some stuff to kind of protect his family and his city and stuff. So I don't know if they're trying to say oh, his dad was the first ever Batman, or some kind of incarnation of a Batman or a vigilante or something like that, and it was kind of a passed down thing, and that would be cool, because one thing that I've already kind of done with Gotham is it's its own thing. It's not really taking things from other Batman comic books and Batman stories and stuff like that. It's just its own thing. So you have to kind of look at it like that. So I've accepted that now. So if they want to do kind of a storyline where Bruce Wayne's father was the first Batman or the first vigilante of Gotham protecting the city, and then he kind of passed it down to Bruce, that would be cool because it would be different. It would be a different kind of way to tell that kind of story. And I like to see different stuff like that. So if they want to do something like that, that'd be cool. As long as they do it right, that's all I really care about. We get into Gordon, and he's going through this new change because now Penguin he's kind of the mob boss. He's the big time of the city of Gotham. Now he took Fish out, and you know everybody else is going as out his way, and Gordon's really struggling with the fact like how much he has to do to do right. He wants to do right, but sometimes he's gotta kind of go past that line and do a little wrong to get to the greater good. And I like to see that. It was a lot of great moments with Jim trying to just struggling with his moralities and struggling with the fact that he might have to do some bad just to get to the good and get to the greater good of what he's trying to accomplish, like taking down the commissioner and stuff, and because he knows the commissioner is kind of crooked and stuff like that. So I like stuff like that with Gordon. But then you get to like the stuff that kind of really bothered me when you get to like the villains and stuff. And like you in Gotham, you know you're gonna get like that villain of the week type of thing. And we got a villain of the week type of thing. And it was the villain of the week was a plot device to get the main villains that are going to be out throughout the story of season 2 out of jail, which is cool, but they could have went by a better way with this kind of villain. He was just too goofy for me, especially when you have like a great serious moment with like Bruce, or you have a great serious moment with Bullock and Jim and stuff like that. Then you have to go back to like this goofy villain where he's just all crazy. He's a heavy-set guy. It looks like Barney farted in his mouth because he got like purple gas coming out. You know, just stuff like that was just very awkward and weird, and it was too goofy, and it just kind of threw off the tone for me. And he's like I said, he's just a plot device to introduce like where Barbara at, where the Jerome is, who might possibly be the Joker. They're not saying or anything like that, and like these characters for the bigger story in season 2. So that was cool, but at the same time it just went by just a weird way. I do kind of like the stuff that they're doing with Barbara. Like I said, you have to just kind of take it like how it is. It's just its own thing. So you might get a story where Barbara, to me, how it looks like it's going down, it looks like Barbara might actually be like a version of Harley Quinn whenever this is all said and done, or something like that. Or I've heard rumors that she might actually be like a female Joker. I don't know. But I like what they're doing with her because her character was so wishy-washy and just so over the place in season 1. I like the fact that, you know, season 2, they're sticking with like, okay, she's just a crazy person and stuff like that. And she's just off the deep end and stuff. And how is that going to transpire throughout this season? It's going to be interesting. So I do like what they're doing with Barbara, that they're sticking with this crazy girl stuff. And she had a great moment when she first called Jim, and then she calls Jim's girlfriend, and she just switched like on a dime. So that was really, really cool. So I am liking stuff like that. The guy who's playing Jerome, I do like him. If he's playing Jerome or the Joker, I don't know. I do feel like he needs to tone it down a little bit, or the writers need to tell him to tone it down, because he's just too on the nose with the Joker thing. I feel like it needs to just be more subtle and stuff like that. But overall, like I said, it were great moments in this premiere episode of Gotham season 2. But a lot of stuff that has me worried, more with the villains of the week and certain tones and how they have to keep like a good tone in this. The standout performance in this episode was the kid who plays Bruce. I thought his whole storyline was really, really good. I did like the moments with Penguin and Jim and stuff like that, and how Penguin's trying to use Jim to do his dirty work. That was a really good moment. I did like the moments with Harvey and or Bullock and Jim. That was a good moment too. But you know, they just need to figure out certain things. So hopefully episode 2 does that a little bit better. So what do you guys think about this episode? Please like this video, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought. And as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy.